guys. Welcome to LifeStretch. So, if you want some nice, relaxing music, you can just put it on right now. I also added a block. You don't have to use a block, you can use your arms. This is just to lay when I lay on my side, so I have something to support my head. So, LifeStretch, it's a little bit of a very slow movement, looking at lengthening the body. So we're going to go through a little bit of a check of our bodies first. Then we'll kind of notice where we feel stuck a little bit or where it's moving more like we were in mud instead of clear water. So let's get started with just an exercise that you would like to see a little bit more movement in it. So let's start with any movement. So for me, I like to check my squats, and I also would like to look at my shoulder check. And from here, let's start. So we're going to find our feet, and we're just going to lean forward, keeping our heels down onto the ground and noticing the tension that it creates in our back body. And then let's come back. Let's lean back. Let's notice the tension now in our front body. And I will move slowly back and forth until we find that place where there's no tension, either forward or back. Noticing where the weight is on our feet. And then we're going to lean to one side, keeping both feet even. And then we'll come back to center. Lean to the other side, noticing the tension in the legs. And then coming back. Let's keep that going side to side, noticing where the tension is. And stopping right in the middle where there's no tension either on either side. Bending the knees a little bit, looking where the knees are going, right on top of the big toe or just between the big toe and the little toe. And then we're going to go until we feel that we have long legs but slight bend in the knee. And then from here, let's move to the hips. So we're going to tuck the hips one direction, and then we'll tuck in the other. And in each movement, let's feel where there's tension. There's going to be tension in both those extremes. And then we'll stop where we feel the least tension. And then from here, with the shoulders, rounding forward, rounding back. So bringing the shoulders forward and shoulders back. Noticing the tension in each sides. And then let's bring our arms right to center where we feel no tension either forward or back. Let's check our knees to make sure that they are still slightly bent, and then our hips feel no tension either forward or back. And then we're going to bring our head forward, and then we're going to pull it back. Bring the chin forward, pull the chin back. And then let's bring our chin halfway so that there's no tension either forward or back. And let's start with the breath. So let's bring our hands onto our belly, just below the belly button. Knees are still bent. And at first, let's just observe our breath. So noticing where we feel tension, where we feel expansion. So the front of the body, the back of the body, the chest. Now let's bring the breath into our hands. So inhaling, letting the belly push into our hands, and exhaling, pulling the belly back. And we're just going to let it go. Let the breath just create that movement. We're going to try not to push into our hands. So noticing that breath and bringing it back. Beautiful. Let's bring our hands on each side of our lower ribs. And here, just breathing normally, noticing if there's any movement in the rib cage. And then slowly focusing our attention, focusing our breath into our hands so that we can feel the pressure of the ribs into our hands as we breathe in. And one more time. Good. Now let's bring our hands back right behind our lower ribs. And this time just breathe normally, noticing if there's any pressure on the hands. Then let's see if we can focus our attention onto those hands and letting our back body push into our hands just slightly. And one more time. It may be just a subtle movement. Maybe it's just our imagination, but it's okay because it all starts in our imagination. Good. So now let's imagine that we have a ball and we're holding it in front of our body. And I inhale and feel the ball lengthening down through the pelvic floor and then pulling the ball back. And again, inhaling, letting everything go, letting the belly go up and back down. And then the same thing now, inhaling, opening all the way around and exhaling, bring everything back. And then again, inhaling. I like to use my arms to kind of feel that expansion. So sometimes when I see it, it's a little bit easier to do it. Good. And release. Beautiful. So throughout our practice here, I encourage you to breathe in and out through the nose. If you prefer to breathe out through the mouth or breathe in and out through the mouth, you go ahead. And then from here, now let's test or let's check our front line. So bring the chin down, letting the shoulders round forward a little bit. And then inhale. On the exhale, start expanding. Nice and long. And exhaling, rounding the arms back. And again, inhaling, start rounding. Exhaling, reaching up. Nice and long, nice and long, nice and long. Now let's add a little bit more here. Reach. Notice one side. And then reach the other side. Notice how that feels, making sure the knees are staying slightly bent. And reach to one side, and then let's round ourselves forward to come back to center. And again on the exhale, come on up and reach one side, nice and long, and the other side. And again. And then slowly round forward. And let's stack the spine. Beautiful. Let's go a little bit deeper into that front line. Let's take one foot back. Make sure the feet are wide enough that we have a stable stance. If the feet are closer together, it's going to be a little bit more wobbly. So keep the feet wide. And again, this time inhale and then reach up. Press the hip forward, the one that you're stretching. And then reach, rotating to one side. And then reach Rotating slightly to the other side. And come back. And then reach and circle back. And then coming back up. Reaching up and to one side, other side. And maybe it's tighter on one side, so going a little bit more. And circle or snake. And coming back up. Good. And the other side. Rounding forward just a little bit. And on the exhale, press the hips forward, reach up. And one arm more than the other, rotating a little bit. Going to the other side, rotating a little bit. Coming back. And one more, and circle forward and back in again. So I'm going at my own speed, but feel free, you guys, to go a little bit faster or maybe a little bit slower, whichever works for you. Maybe holding if you feel that you need it a little bit. And the goal here is not to have the perfect movement. The goal is to make sure that we follow whatever our body is telling us. Beautiful. Let's go with the side body now. So widen the feet, maybe a little bit wider than the hips or shoulder width apart. And we're just going to let the hip go to one side and then come back and then go to the other side. Let the head go with it. And then again, reaching one side. And then come back. Other side. And come back. Let's add the arms for a little bit more. If that was enough without the arms, you can stay without the arms. Let's rotate a little bit forward, bending the knees a little bit to come forward. Let's go right to the other side. Reach, support the torso with the hand. And rotate a little bit. One direction, then the other. Bending the knees, circle forward. And come back. And again, reach forward. Now this time, if we want a little bit more, we can add both arms. Rotating to the floor. Rotating to the ceiling. Coming back and rounding forward. Let's go right to the other side. Supporting with the arm. Maybe reaching both arms. Open to the ceiling. Rotate towards the floor. Bending the knees to circle forward. And coming back up. Beautiful. So moving back a little bit because we're going to check our back body. And then from here, bending the knees, let's just kind of wiggle our way down. Maybe we're not touching the floor. Maybe we are touching the floor. And that's okay either way. Lengthening one leg, bending the other leg, letting the hips flow. Inhaling as we are switching sides. Exhaling, holding. And again, switching sides. Maybe we can move forward a little bit with our hands and then bending one knee and then the other. Keeping that going. Now if the hands or if the heels are not coming down, it's okay to have the hands forward for a little bit more work, back for a little bit less intensity. Remember, we want to move from a place that is no pain. And with that no pain, we get a lot more. So we gain more. And then from here, let's bring our hands back towards our feet and wiggle our way up Beautiful. So from here, we'll find our way onto the floor. So again, let's just roll down and walking the hands forward, bringing the feet down. And from here, maybe doing a little bit of rounding at the back, extending the back, just to kind of loosen up a little bit. One more time. Coming back to center, and let's bring ourselves down. So here in that seated position, if you need a block or a cushion to sit on to be comfortable, you go ahead and you do that. So the goal here is to be comfortable. If you feel any tension as you're going through, it's okay to change your position. And let's start now with the head. So we're going to start warming up a little bit. So dropping the chin and then circling the head to one side. And then let's bring it back down and exhaling to the other side. And maybe going into a full circle. And if that doesn't work for you, it's okay just to go back and forth. Reaching the chin up, leading with the eyes, using the eyes to get that movement going. And again, feel free to move at your own pace. And circle, reaching the chin up, but keeping the head floating towards the ceiling. Let's switch direction. Ear to shoulder, lifting the chin, reaching the chin up, going to the other side. And let's do that again. Let's make sure we're breathing through that. Very important. Reaching the chin up and to the side and back down. Beautiful. Let's bring our chin back up. If you feel that you need a little bit more, you feel free, you go ahead. So let's work now on the front of the neck. So we're going to rest our hands onto our collarbones. Let's lift the shoulders to create some slack. And then just with the weight of the hands, let's bring the shoulders down. Let's bring the elbows down, and the weight of the hands will help anchor our collarbone. And then from here, we'll just pull the chin up, keeping the back of the neck long. And from here, let's rotate the chin to one side, and let's bring it down. And again, give the neck a little bit of a slack. Bring the shoulders down, using the weight of the hands to anchor the collarbone. Let's lift the chin, and then going to one side and rounding forward. And one more time, release, give it some slack, press it down, lifting the chin and rotating to one side. And then maybe we feel the need to kind of move a little bit on one side or the other, and then we can do that. Just remembering to give it some slack first and then moving. So it's okay to stay longer in one position. It's okay to go a little bit faster. And come back down. Release the collarbone and come back up. Let's go with the side of the neck now. So I'm going to bring the head to one side, ear to the shoulder. Drop the nose back to the front, and then bring it back up. To the other side, drop the nose, circle down, and back up. One more time on each side. Head, nose down to circle back to the front. And back up. And again, side, nose down, and circle down. And back up. And let's put a little bit more, holding on to the front of the knee, and then putting our body into it. Reach. And one more time. Let's reach. Bring the nose down. Bring the nose up. Doing a movement that feels good or that creates just enough of a stretch. Starting light, slowly going a little bit deeper. Maybe here we want a little bit more. We bring the hand under the hip and then circle forward and then come back. Let's go to the other side. Reach away, ear to shoulder. Move the chin just up and down, feeling the stretch in the neck. Taking the time. And maybe there's this place where you feel you want to stop and move the head in yeses, little nose, maybe little circles. If we want more intensity, we can sit on our hand. And then from here, releasing the hand if we had the hand anchored, and then come on up. Let's do that one more time. This time we're going to add the weight of our arm onto our head. So we're not pulling and just resting the arm on my head. And then again, using the weight of the arm to add a little bit more. And then from here, let's find a place that's comfortable. Let's see what happens if we rock a little bit forward and back. So the torso is moving forward and back. Let's do that one more time. Maybe we want to stop in one place and do that head movement. And release the arm and circle to the front. And back up. Let's go to the other side. And then from here, bring the head to the side. Going forward and up and down. Noticing the difference. Maybe here we also want to anchor our hand a little bit more, and that's okay. And then finding a place that's nice and comfortable. Let's move the torso forward and back. Noticing those little changes as we are rocking forward and back. Let's do that one more time. Feel free to hold if you feel the need. Release the head first and then circle forward and back up. Beautiful. So now we've done the front and the side of the neck. We'll go to the back. So let's start without the arms first. So we're going to drop the chin, and then we're just going to kind of weave ourselves forward. And then here, getting the head to move in different position. So maybe bring the chin to one side. Let's bring it to the other side, and then we'll just kind of wiggle our way back up. So we can do the same thing, or we can add weight. So the elbows or the arms are going to create the pull. The hands are not. So we're going to kind of wiggle our way down, only going as far as we feel comfortable. And then again, rotating to one side, rotating to the other, maybe rocking back a little bit on the back of the sitting bones, and then coming back on top of the sitting bones, rocking back. It doesn't have to be much, just a little bit will do it. One more time. And then holding, releasing, and coming back up. And let's finish by reaching the chin up nice and high just to give that last little opening in the front of the body. And then circle the head back down, stacking. Beautiful. Let's move on to the shoulders now. So let's start with the hand on the shoulders now. If it doesn't make it here, if it needs to be to the front, that's fine. Wherever it feels comfortable to you. And then we're just going to draw some circles. So let's take our time, keeping our chest nice and square to the front. So nice slow circles, noticing where there's a little cracking, maybe there's a little bit of popping somewhere. So let's make sure that we kind of make the movement just big enough to create a comfortable movement, that there's no pain, there's no cracking. And then as we're going along, as we are getting a little bit warmer, then the cracking can go away and then we can go a little bit bigger. And let's add some rotation also to this. So reaching up, use your eyes, follow your elbow. Let's do one more. And now we'll extend the arms. Now, if the elbow, the arm bent is enough, then keep going with that. If not, you can extend the arm. Reach the fingertips nice and far. Look up towards the ceiling. Look back. Imagine that bubble. So our 6 feet bubble. Let's reach for the end of it. Let's reach for the edges and release. Beautiful. Let's bring the hand back to the shoulder and slow rotation to the front or to the back, whichever direction you started with. And then we'll add the torso to it. Making sure you're breathing. And you can stay with the arm bent or you can reach the arms. Notice how the sticky place now is a little bit different than we were doing and going in the other direction. So you can stop in some point and then just kind of flex the wrist and maybe making a fist before you keep going. And it's okay to make the circle smaller. It's okay to go a little bit bigger, whichever works for you. And come back to center. Beautiful. Nice. Let's go to the other side. So circling the shoulder. So you may notice that one side is very different than the other, and that's okay. It just means you're normal. So let's keep that circle going and let's keep an eye on the elbow, rotating the torso at the same time. Good. That's it. Let's go for one more. Adding the arm now. Reaching nice and far inside of your bubble. So let's reach for that inside bubble. Let's make sure that we notice where the sticky parts are and then maybe holding there a little bit and then flexing the wrist, making a fist, noticing if there's any difference, if it makes any difference, and then keep the circle going and then come back to center. Let's go in the other direction. Let's do a few circles in the other direction. Good. And let's keep an eye on the elbow. Taking the time to breathe. Moving at our own pace. And adding the arm if that's what we a time for a quick stop if we feel a sticky place. And again, going at our own pace, but not so fast that we can't notice what's happening. Let's do one more. And release. Feel the shoulders nice and loose. Let's move on to the legs. So we're going to open the front of the hips first. And from here, we're going to sit into that nice shell position, reaching nice and far. And I'm going to move ourselves forward. And then from here, engage the glutes to tuck the tailbone under, keeping the belly engaged to open the hip. And then we're going to look over one shoulder and coming back to center. Looking to the other side. Back to center. And let's sit back. Take a quick break. Maybe shake the wrists. Let's go back. Engage the glutes, the bum, nice and tight. Tuck the tailbone under to open the front of the hip. And go and looking to one side. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper this time. Keeping the belly engaged so that you don't hurt our lower back. Take a break whenever you need to. And then coming back to center. And press back. Quick little stretch. And let's have a seat. Good. So bringing the legs forward. And then from here, you can rest further back on your hands or you can bring yourself forward. The feet can be wherever they're comfortable. And then we're just going to let one knee drop. And then come back. Let the other knee drop. Notice where they're going. Maybe they're going all the way down. Maybe they're stopping a little bit higher. Both sides are not going to be the same, so it's okay. We don't need to force one side to get deeper. Let's do that a couple more times. And beautiful. So let's find a side that we feel more comfortable starting. So for me, this side is a little bit looser. I feel that my leg can go a little bit further. So I'm going to start with that side forward, but it's okay if you want to start with the other side. Not a problem. So we're going to find our front knee. Face that front knee. Now, if the leg doesn't touch, it's forward, it's fine. If this leg needs to be further back, that's perfect. Just get into a nice, comfortable position. And then from here, on the inhale, we're going to lengthen our spine and exhale. Slowly fold forward until you feel the stretch in the back of the hip. And then inhale, round forward. Come back up, reaching nice and tall. On the exhale, folding forward. And stopping wherever you feel that you've reached that stretch. And we are reaching for that just gentle stretch, just where we start feeling it. So we need to take our time so that we have the chance to feel. And then maybe from here we can stay here and do a little bit of a rocking side to side, just a little bit, just to feel the stretch change a little bit. Maybe we want to go up and down a little bit in that place. So coming up a little bit on the inhale, on the exhale, coming back down, and again, inhaling, coming up a little bit, exhaling, coming down. And then from here, we're gonna rotate and look behind us. And then we're gonna come back. And moving a little bit further, look over the shoulder, and then coming back. Exhaling, looking over the shoulder, and then coming back. Let's do that one more time. Reaching back, looking over, use the eyes, and coming back. Beautiful. So let's find our elbows. So it could be right beside. You may feel that you can go further back. It's okay, whichever works for you. And then from here, we're going to reach the arm up and over the head. And then we're going to reach towards the corner. And then we're going to swim the arm back. And then reach up as far as we can. Then reach for the front corner and swim it back. And again, reach, 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 reach. Maybe we want to look up first, making sure the shoulder is nice and strong, supporting shoulder. Reach for that corner and bring it back. Coming back onto the hands so that we can slowly swing ourselves to the front. Beautiful. Let's go to the other side now. Beautiful. So let's find our front knee and nice and long on the inhale. On the exhale, folding forward. Finding that beginning of a stretch and hold it there and coming back up. Exhaling on the fold. Inhaling, coming back. Nice long spine. Exhaling to the fold. And back up. Long spine and fold. Finding a place that feels just like we're starting to stretch. And going from side to side. Nice and slow. Feeling, noticing, and then finding the place where we find that there's a fun spot, right? A place where you go, yeah. And then slowly lower a little bit. Come back up just a little bit. Go a little bit deeper. Come back up a little bit. And exhaling a little bit deeper. And each time, noticing if the muscles are letting you go a little bit deeper. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. That's okay. Good. And hold if that feels good. And then rocking side to side. Taking the time to look over the shoulder. Looking. And back. And again, maybe I can go a little bit deeper each time. A little bit further back each time. Using the eyes to help. That's it. And coming back. Maybe doing it a few more times as that felt good. And then coming down onto the elbow. Finding a place where there's a little bit of an opening. So we are looking more towards the side. So reaching up, reach towards the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. Look at the fingertips. Reach for that corner. And then swimming it back. And again, reach up. Reach, 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 reach. Reach for the corner and come back. One more time, maybe looking up towards the ceiling this time. Reaching, looking up, looking up. Keep looking at your hands. And to the corner and rocking ourselves back to the front. Beautiful. And from here, let's drop the knee. Notice where it goes. Beautiful. Let's go to the other side. Noticing if it's going a little bit deeper this time. So my sticky one is a little bit looser. Not by much today. Usually I get a little bit more. Good. So let's come on up now. So we're going to take our feet open. And then here, we're going to lengthen our spine. And we're going to roll forward. And then come back up. Lengthen the spine. And if you want to use your hands to help, that's okay. And forward. And rocking maybe side to side. Let's notice what's happening in the inner thighs. Maybe one side feels tighter than the other. And whichever side is the least sticky, that side we're going to lengthen. And we're going to let the other leg fall. That's okay. It doesn't matter where it is either. And then from here, inhaling, nice long spine. And exhaling, rounding forward. And then moving away and then coming back up. And again, folding forward. Away and back up. One more time. And forward. Move away and back up. Let's go to the other side. Beautiful. And then folding forward and roll away and come back up and get forward and away and come back up. One more time. And forward, away, and back up. Beautiful. So let's work the back. So laying down on our back, keeping the feet away a little bit. And this time, let's rock the hips side to side. One more time. And from here, let's bring both knees into the chest. If you need a towel or strap behind your legs, it's okay, it's perfect. Because we're going to try to keep our legs loose, and then we're going to use our arms to do the work. So moving the knees in a circle, same direction, both knees. Movement happens with the hands. So trying to keep the legs nice and loose as much as possible. Beautiful. Hands on top of the knees now, and using the hands, draw a circle in opposite direction. Good. Let's go one more in that direction, and then let's switch. Taking our time and breathing, very important. Good. And release. Okay, let's take one leg and bring it across and let it fall. Pull the knee up on the inhale, on the exhale, let it fall. And again, let it fall. One more time, lift and let it fall. Beautiful. So I'm going to switch leg because I didn't pick the right leg for the camera, so I apologize. So from here, let's move the feet towards the top leg and then roll onto side. And then from here, let's take the top knee and pull it into the chest. And then inhale, release. Exhale, pull into the chest. Let's come back. You can keep the same thing going, or you can bring your foot nice and flat on the floor. And this time, holding on to the foot, pulling the hip back down. And then inhaling, releasing, exhaling, pulling the hip down. And again. And pull. Holding it, that feels good. One more time. Good. And release. Let's roll onto the same. Let's keep rolling on the sides. So if you want something for your head, that's fine. Or you can also use your arm. So with the hands together, let's reach as far as we can and then circle the arm back. And keep looking at your arm, your hand as much as possible. Good. And then come back and then pull and circle, reaching nice and far. Maybe there's a sticky part that you want to stop at and move a little bit and come back. Let's switch direction. Let's reach up above the head. Let's look at the hand. If there's a sticky part, hold and move slightly. And let's come back. And reach. You can keep circling or you can pull yourself across. And circle. Look at your hand as much as you can. Come back. And release. Beautiful. Let's go to the other side now. Beautiful. And crossing the leg over. I'm going to inhale and exhale. Pull it back. And pull it back. Inhaling, letting it come forward. Exhaling, letting it come back. One last time. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Beautiful. So as I did on the other side, I'm going to switch my legs, but you guys can cross the same leg. Move the hips to the side, dropping both hips. And from here, pull that top knee into the chest. And release. Exhale, pull that top knee into the chest. And release. Maybe taking the foot flat on the floor. Inhaling, exhaling. Try to pull the hip back down, keeping a hold of the arm, of the leg. And then again, letting it go forward and pulling it back. One last time. Forward and back. And release. Let's roll onto our side. And reach nice and far and circle the arm. Keep keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching. Reach, reach, reach. Look towards your hand as much as you can. Reach, 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 reach. And pulling it across. And reach. Beautiful. Let's go into the other direction. Reach forward. Reach. Look at your hand as much as possible. Oh, no sticky point. Hold, flex, and uh, make a fist. Lengthen the fingers. Pull the fingers down. Fingers up. And finish your circle. That's it. And reach, pull it across above the head and over. Reach, 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 and come back. Beautiful. So let's do a little bit of hamstring. So from here, let's take one knee into the chest. And from here, the other leg can go long if you want, or you can keep it bent. And then from here, we'll just kind of bounce our legs side to side until it goes up and bring it back down. And again, zigzag our way up. Flex and point the foot, circle, and let it drop. Now bring the knee side to side. Let's bring it towards the shoulder now. And then from here, let's wiggle our foot up and let it fall. And again, wiggle up, point and flex, circle, and drop. And now let's bring the knee across, so towards the middle of the chest. Zigzag the leg up, point and flex, and let it drop. Zigzag, up, circle, and let it fall. And the other side. So pull the knee into the chest, holding it there with the arm, and zigzag the leg up, and let it fall. One more time. Zigzagging up, let it fall. Forgot to point and flex. Up, point and flex, circle the ankle, and let it fall. And take the knee out towards the shoulder, zigzag the leg up, let it fall, and zigzag the leg up, point and flex, circle the foot, and bring it back down. Let's bring the knee towards the center of the chest, zigzagging up, and let it fall. And again, zigzag up, point, flex, circle the foot, and let it drop. Beautiful. And then from here, let's just bring both feet down on the floor. And let's notice how everything feels. And let's go up into a bridge. Press the feet down. Really tighten the glutes. Nice and tight. Hold it for one more breath. And release. Beautiful. And again, tighten the glutes and lift. And let it fall. Let's roll over. Let's come into a table. And let's find our glutes. Let's press into our hands. So we want to kind of Tighten into the shoulders, into that nice plank, using the belly. You can go onto your toes if you want. You can even go into your elbows. The goal here is to stabilize the shoulders, to keep them nice and strong. And let's come back and coming back forward. Tighten the glutes, let the hips drop side to side. Good. One more time. And come back to center. And from that table, tuck your toes under, and we'll make our way back. So beautiful. So let's go back to our test to see if everything got looser. So notice whichever your movement was, if you can go a little bit deeper, if the movement is any looser, or you can go a little bit deeper. And then from here, let's take a deep breath. And exhale. One more time. Beautiful, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this nice life stretch. You are welcome in any time of stress that you have throughout this lovely time to maybe just do the beginning where we focus on the breath, and it helps clear the mind. So thank you very much. Have a great week. Namaste.